In 1951, Macdonough Hall was dedicated as one of the oldest buildings on campus, oldest residence halls on campus, and that was in 1951. The name of the building, Macdonough Hall, was in honor of Commodore Thomas Macdonough, who was the naval hero who defeated the British in the Battle of Plattsburgh in 1814. During the construction of the building in 1914, workers unearthed two 19th century gravestones and human remains, fueling decades of local ghost stories. There was also built, when this building was being built, an area that has been called the catacombs, which is now the boiler room of this building. And that used to be that was like a bomb shelter place, because back then, in 1949, or around that time frame, there was, because of the wars and stuff that was going on, and this place was so close to the base that's not nearby here, they were required to build a bomb shelter space at the lowest level possible. So that's why there's two basements, and then that second one is probably one of the oldest parts of the building, but it is used for a boiler room now. And fun fact, in the field behind Macdonough Hall, so Memorial Field back, well, actually you can see it out my window in my dorm room. It was once a public hanging ground for the Plattsburgh Arsenal during the War of 1812, and that is a quick history of Macdonough Hall of Suny Plattsburgh. So now let's get into the history of more history. During the construction of Macdonough Hall in 1950, workers unearthed the Old Settlers Cemetery, which dates back to the late 1700s. The primary names that were found that were legible were Captain Zebulon Lyon, a Revolutionary War veteran and one of Plattsburgh's first settlers, and then Mary Lyon, Zebulon's wife, who was interred beside him. And then there were 147 unknown bodies that had no surviving gravestones or legible gravestones or a lot of nameless graves and nameless burials that didn't, from the early pioneers of the region. And this halted the construction of this residence hall in May 1950, when their steam shovel hit the human remains. The scale, as I've said, there was 147 sets of remains, and all the remains were moved to the Riverside Cemetery on St. Margaret Street. Then you can find a large granite memorial at the Riverside Cemetery that is dedicated to these old settlers that were moved from the college campus. And that is the specifics on the bodies and the gravestones that were found when Macdonough Hall was being in construction. 200 years ago, in this spot stood a gallows for the military during 1812. During the War of 1812, the hanging grounds was a place used for military executions. The reason for this was they were public hangings of deserters and spies to help so that way they can the army would do this tactic to maintain their discipline of their soldiers, to say, hey, if you betray us, if you leave your post, if you spy on us, and this is what you get. You just die. You just die in front of everybody and get hung. And then the famous case of this was a soldier named Baker, and he was executed here on the memorial field, which was called the Hanging Grounds back then, in 1813. And today it is called Memorial Field, as I've said, and this is because it is a peaceful space for people to do their sports. There's soccer that goes on and stuff like that, and which has origins of dark history of that being a hanging ground. And from scaffolds to sports, the Memorial Field, that is the history of that part of Macdonough Hall, which is Memorial Field. I'm here with Jennie Davis. I'm going to be interviewing her So you were telling me about you had a paranormal experience here when you were visiting one of your friends.
Yes. So one of my friends, she lives in the basement of it's like the suites, right?
Yes.
And I live off campus, but I've been visiting a couple of them, and they're all like roommates. And so I think it was the first week in October, and we painted pumpkins. We were getting ready for Halloween, and so we went to Walmart, we came back, and I ended up staying over at the dorms. And so they have a bathroom in their suite, but their other roommate that they don't really like was using it. And so me and my other friend, we went down the hallway and we went upstairs, and we were in the bathroom. It was only us. We were in the showers, because I don't even remember what we were. I think she was washing her hair from hair dye, something like that. And we heard crying, and we were like, oh my gosh, someone's crying in the shower, which is not too weird,
Right.
People cry in the shower.
Yeah.
And we're us being nosy, we're looking around, and we're like, there's no one in here, but we hear crying. So we went outside and we're walking around. No one's, out there, you wouldn't be hearing crying from the dorm. So we went back in, and we were just hearing a woman crying. And so we were spooked out. So we went back to the dorm, and I told one of my other friends, we're like, oh my God, we heard crying, da-da-da. And she was like, no, you didn't. And we're like, no, we did. We checked everywhere. And you could see, obviously you can't just open the shower curtains, but you can see when people are in the shower.
Yeah.
And no showers were running. They were just, no one was in there. It was quiet, and you just hear a woman weeping, and it was the scariest thing ever.
Yeah, and it sounds like you did a pretty good job at trying to debunk, okay, let's see if there's somebody here, which is always good when you have an experience like that.
No, definitely.
So was there any other stories that you may have heard, or anything that was experienced?
Another one, I don't know Macdonough too well, or a lot of the dorms, but just walking through the hallways, it's pretty quiet in Macdonough. I feel compared, I've been into Whiteface, and it's super loud. I've been into Macomb, and it's super loud. Macdonough is really quiet, so you hear everything. And my friend Harry, it was a TV room or something, and he got his Switch, and we were all gonna play. And I think it was specifically for transfer students, but they let him use the room. Mm-hmm. And the door just kept opening and closing into the suite area. And just people running and footsteps. So it's okay, maybe because we're in a dorm, but it was also 5 in the morning, where we'd all just decided to just stay up, and we're just hearing running around, hearing doors open and slam. And we go out, and Harry knows most of the people in the dorms, and so he was talking to people. He's like, hey, were you out running, on your floor? We were in the suite doing this. And they're like, no, I wasn't. I was in my friend's dorm, or I was sleeping. And it's just it's so eerie.
Yeah. I know I've had a couple experiences. Part of mine was from me just straight using my equipment. I have a spirit box and a K2 meter, mm-hmm. and I've used that to communicate and see if there's anything in the building. But I know from my personal mini investigations that I've done in my dorm, there are a lot of spirits in this building. Mm-hmm. There's a lot mm-hmm. of them, but I think a lot of a lot of the activity that is found on campus comes from the Battle of Plattsburgh.
Definitely.
And comes from the War of 1812, especially with the memorial field behind the building.
And the Saranac River, like, I remember because I played tennis and pickleball, and they have like the overhead lights, so you can be out there when it's dark out, and it's just like you just get this like this feeling like just like not a warm fuzzy feeling,
right?
And just like being around, like walking around the building, because sometimes like my friends are like, oh, come in through the back door, like don't come in through the front, and I'll walk around and it'll be like 8 o'clock, 8:30. I'm like, it's a little spooky out here.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that when I'm at some of the other like dorms.
Yeah. Definitely, this is the oldest building on campus.
Yeah.
This is between that and Hawkins are those are the two oldest buildings on this campus. So it definitely has the energy and it definitely has the vibes.
Definitely.
For it. But any other, stories or things you've heard?
I do 100% believe that Macdonough is haunted. I know some people are like, yo, you're just crazy. I'm like, no, like guys, I do think so. Or there's like trapped spirits, or trapped soldiers or something, especially between like the building to all the way to the Saranac River.
Okay.
Definitely like someone's been caught and they can't escape.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, and some of it might be as well that are wandering spirits from other locations in town as well.
Definitely.
I think that'll be it for the interview, unless you have any other final words you'd like to say.
I wish, but that was really all. Thank you for having me and interviewing me.
Of course.
Because I'm always like telling people what I've experienced, and they're like, that didn't happen, Jenny. I'm like, guys, trust. It did. Like, I was there. I was conscious. I was sober. I was everything. Like, I visioned it all.
I can tell you now that you are not crazy, because because if you're crazy, then that means I'm crazy. But I also know that I'm a little bit crazy. So
no, yeah, there you go.
Start recording. All right, so we are doing a little mini session here to see if we get anything. So I got my K2 and I got the spirit box. And how a spirit box works is you would turn it on and it'll cycle through channels. Once I start sweeping, I can sweep it reverse or forward. It has a REM pod feature as well, but we're not going to use that. So let me sweep this. Turn this up too. That's at max volume. Now it's sweeping. So yeah. Is there any spirits here that like to speak with us? There we go. Now. My name is Bruce. This is Jenny. Hi.
What?
Have you seen Jenny before?
What? Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Well, remember you had that experience.
True.
That's why I was going with that. Okay, EMF is going off. Walking? I heard yes. Same thing.
Okay.
Seen. Are you confirming that you have seen her around here before?
Not them getting quiet.
Deflect. There's someone. Can you give us a name? Sounded like 3 of us?
Mm-hmm.
There are 3, I heard too. Do you want to speak with us? Can you make the PA2 go up to orange? Sure, let's do this. Trying, I can see it flickering at the yellow. You can just come up to the black box and you can make it to go to the second to last light. I'm trying. There it goes, it just went hit orange. Do you have anything you'd like to tell us? Maybe your story? There's one. Here. What he did? Yeah. There was definitely some intelligent responses, though.
I'm gonna have to dip soon, but this is interesting.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to tell Jennie before she goes? I heard hey.
Hi.
I'm gonna have to end the session here for now because Jennie's got to head out. $1,000?
I would love $1,000.
Hey. Thank you for talking.
Of course. Or yeah, they're them talking.
And I think they meant thank you for talking with us.
Oh, okay. You're welcome.
And I also heard bless too. All right, thank you for communicating with us. I know this probably took a lot of energy for you to do, so we appreciate you communicating.
Yeah, I think probably takes a lot of power to do that.
I heard bye.
Yeah.
Later, man. I'm gonna turn off the spirit box now. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. I have Grant here with me for a quick interview because I remember on our investigation that we did, which you'll probably see later, you talked about that you knew a little bit of Plattsburgh, not necessarily history, but some stories of things that we ended up getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, throughout my time, I've interviewed a lot of people, and with that comes a lot of stories. Naturally. I mentioned in the interview, I kind of brought up Ethan Allen. It's this ghost figure. Again, I don't know exactly the story. I came in information with it because my friend was visiting from out of town, and he was asking, he's like, what do you guys do for fun in Plattsburgh? And I gave him the rundown, but he's like, don't know what any of that is. I'm going to Google. So he looked up fun things to do, and the ghost of Ethan Allen kept coming up. And he was like, what is this? And I'm like, I've personally never heard of it. So we did a little bit of research. Apparently it's this guy who passed away in the Civil War. Okay. Not Civil War, Revolutionary War, or whatever war it was. Forget what it
there
exactly
was. The Battle of Plattsburgh,
yes,
too.
It might have been that, honestly. I'm not exactly sure. But with that, I think they lost his body or something along the lines, and it's said that he haunts Lake Champlain.
Okay.
I know in Burlington there's even a hotel named after him. There's a
Oh,
lot
yes.
of stuff about Ethan Allen. Again, I would definitely look into it a little more. It's very interesting stuff. My knowledge on it is very limited, as you can tell. But yeah.
Do you have any other stories or anything that of like the Plattsburgh, like SUNY campus or something like that, or
Honestly,
Macdie?
personally not. But again, I feel like with the history of this town, right?
Yes.
Again, this was literally battlegrounds at one point. It's Native American land as well. You have so many cemeteries, so many years and decades, and I mean, there's so much history here. At the military base, I could see there being some kind of ghost or some kind of haunting or something like that. There's, again, so much here. I remember actually after our ghost hunting adventure, Will Quilla, he was on Facebook, and he was scrolling through, I forget what they call them on Facebook, like the TikTok
Reels?
shorts.
The Reels?
Yeah. And during that time, he found this guy who was talking about the Commons, which is where Will lives,
Yeah.
and how that was haunted. Apparently, this
Oh.
woman had a baby or killed her baby, something along the lines of
Okay.
like an abortion type thing, and because of that, the townspeople killed her.
Okay.
And so, again, I'll see if I could have him send the clip to you so you could look at it. But
Yeah.
with that, again, there's a cemetery right behind the Commons, which even in the video he says they don't advertise at all when they're doing the apartment tours. But with that in mind, the guy that was talking about the story, he said that he was coming home one night and he parked his car. And again, the apartment's here. There's a cemetery here, and then there's a parking lot.
I've walked behind there.
Yeah. And he was saying that he was hearing a baby cry in the cemetery, and he was like, oh, there must be something wrong. So he started going over there, and then he realized, he's like, it's late at night. This is not like actually happening. I need to get out of there because it's just creepy. But yeah.
Cemetery is one of the places that, granted, you could go through and walk through and kind of like, you know, obviously acknowledge anything that's there, but you don't want to do an investigation there.
Why so?
Out of respect.
Okay.
It's a respectful thing.
Interesting. Okay.
And then,
because in my mind, I feel like, again, that would probably be the most active spot for the spirits and whatnot.
It would be.
But again, it's just kind of like
It would be, yeah. If you did, you would have to ask, like, are you okay if I was to ask you some questions and go the respectful route of that? But yeah.
So much history, so much stories here. There's I would not be surprised if there's something out here.
Exactly. Like, I know for sure there's definitely something, because we had intelligent interaction.
Yeah.
Granted, I wouldn't be surprised if there's residual too.
Can you clarify what that is?
So residual is where there is, like, you'll have, like, say you hear footsteps, but the footsteps goes, like, a thing that can happen is where you have residual energy. And there's even said that even in schools that you can have residual hauntings from the energy of the students going back and forth to their classes, and the energy imprinted in the building to that. There's no actual intelligent entities. It's just the energy from that hustle and bustle and that everyday residual
That's very interesting.
pattern. So, you know.
So again, the hanging grounds, would that be a bad spot to do an investigation?
I feel like since there's not, I would definitely be, I don't think so. I'm not sure. That would be something I would have to do a little research on.
Sure.
But I don't think so, because it's not like it's a graveyard, and all the bodies they did find, they moved to the riverside.
Oh, interesting.
And they have a whole big, I think it's granite monument that acknowledges the 140.
That's interesting. Yeah. I always wonder why it's memorial. that makes a lot more sense.
There was so the memorial field. I don't know about Memorial Hall, but Memorial Field exists to acknowledge that dark past, but to kind of flip it into a positive, like, hey, the history of this location is dark.
We acknowledge that we did this.
We acknowledge that this was here.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called Memorial Hall. All right, so that was my little interview and sidetrack conversation with Grant.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me and chatting with me.
I was gonna say again, thank you. This is something definitely out of my wheelhouse. I mean, the paranormal investigation itself is something that I've never done. But again, I mentioned to you, it's something that I was really always interested in. I remember growing up and watching shows and stuff. So being able to kind of partake in my own, and also just thank you again for talking to me, giving me some more insight and knowledge. It's
I'm glad to have been able to work with you before you left.
Yes.
So
right? Yeah.
it's
been a pleasure. Absolutely.
Yes. So
absolutely.
but we will definitely have to see if we can do something more, with this and stuff.
I was gonna say that'd be very interesting. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bruce.
You're welcome.
So we're out in MacD. I don't know how well you can hear me, but I have two pieces of equipment. I got a spirit box, and I have a K2. This lights up, this flickers on, and today with me I have Grant Hochmuth, Michael Hernandez, and Will the Quilla. Will of Quillas. So I'm gonna start the spirit box, and we're gonna see what we get. I'm gonna have the, oh, that's not good. That triggers it, so that you can't go by that. So I'll just be holding this up here. So I'm gonna sweep reverse, and then we see what we get. So are there any spirits here who would like to communicate with us? My name is Bruce.
My name's Grant. I'm from Chicagoland area. I transferred here last year, but really happy to be a part of Bruce's ghost hunting crew today, and hope we can communicate a little bit with you guys.
Yeah. Good. My name's Michael, and I'm just a show guy, along for the ride, shout out Phase Jeff, shout out Phase Frank.
Good. Nice.
Phase Jeff is definitely my favorite. I'm Will Quilla. I used to reside here in Macdonough a couple years ago. I'm very happy to be here. I'm ready to learn some stuff. I'm not familiar with this whole thing, so I'm really excited to learn, communicate, and get a new whole aspect on life.
Absolutely. Maybe Bruce, you could follow it up, tie it in, and just be like, "Hey, that was us."
Yeah, that was our introductions for who we are. We would love to get to know who you are. If you could give us a name or anything, that would be great. This is flipping like crazy. I think so. The more comfortable they get, the more willing they'll be wanting to communicate.
Strangers,
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It could also be hard to hear with this because once I plug this in, it's very staticky because it likes in certain position, because this just becomes a giant antenna. So
I think we should try moving inside.
yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Alright, we're gonna turn this off. Yeah. We're inside where it's nice and warm. And we're gonna have Grant under on the Estes method. He's put his shirt over his head. So I'm turning on the spirit box, and I'm gonna sweep it. I'm gonna see what happens if I do a forward sweep with it. Forward sweep. All right. So we have switched people who is under.
Can't hear a word he's saying right now.
Which is good. So, is there anybody who would like to communicate with us? Still.
Four people?
For like the number?
Burlington.
Burlington.
People from Burlington, maybe? Are you from Burlington?
Can you tell us your name? Oh yeah, I don't have this, the EMF on. There we go.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay.
Yeast.
Yeast. Interesting. So,
Yeast.
what about yeast?
Did you have a yeast infection?
Yes.
Is that how you died?
Right song.
Right, son? Are they maybe saying like,
Stink.
Right, son.
right, like, that's right, son?
Yeah.
So you died of a yeast infection, yes?
Stink.
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 Who are you talking about?
Blanket.
Blanket Man? If they're from here, they probably know Blanket Man.
Blanket.
Snowplow.
Snowplow. What a
Snowplow.
Snowplow.
What about snowplows?
Accident.
Oh.
Accident.
Were you involved in a snowplow accident?
Yes.
Shit.
I ate the bacon. Yes, that was me.
That was it. That was
Accident. Yes.
Were you the driver of the snowplow?
Yeast.
Again, yeast.
Zucchini. Mechanics. Yes.
Were you...
You're-
was the snowplow accident near campus?
Were you the driver of the snowplow?
No.
No. Did you get hit by the snowplow?
Yes.
Okay. So we have somebody who died from getting hit by a snowplow.
Pain.
Definitely, those were probably very painful.
Yes.
Didn't die
indeed.
immediately.
I recall
Do you recall the pain from the death?
agony.
Oh God.
Do you remember when you died?
Why?
Why?
You don't know why it happened?
No, what I said, do you remember when you died? And I said, why? I'm asking, like, why?
Pain.
Too painful to remember?
Pain. 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 Pain.
This is crazy.
How old were you when you died?
$62.
Whoa.
Why? Who did it? Why?
He doesn't know who did
Pain.
it?
Pain. Pain.
Do you think it was on purpose?
Pain. Pain. Make it stop. Why? Ow.
Oh my God, they relive
Yeah.
the pain.
Leave. 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 Leave.
Do you not want to talk with us anymore?
Leave. Stop. Leave.
Do you not want us to talk to you anymore?
Leave. Leave.
Tap him out.
Stop. Leave. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that was crazy. That was crazy, dude.
Insane.
So, this one I don't even need to go over my notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I felt like I was visualizing.
It was
Literally
you were
just
visualizing
leave,
it?
pain,
felt like it,
pain.
yeah.
So, we got in contact. We didn't get a name of this guy.
No, we didn't.
But we got in contact with a dude that said,
Art, we don't know what to do.
right, we don't know if it's a dude or a girl, but they were in an accident.
Snowplow, right?
A
Okay, okay.
snowplow.
So I did-
Snowplow accident.
Yeah, and you can and
That's vivid.
What we're thinking is that they relived that experience.
they relived the
Yeah,
experience
that
and
felt like
death.
it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And the fact that you were seeing it, they were probably projecting to you in your
Yeah.
mind what it was like, how they experienced it. Like, what did you see?
It was like very bright. Like, I really don't know how to even put it into words. Just bright.
That was probably the last thing they saw, the lights of the truck.
Blinding lights.
But like all you were saying was pain, 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 agony, pain, why, agony, who
They must
did
have
it?
suffered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really must have suffered.
I mean, you think about it, you got this massive plow and you get caught on that and you're getting tumbled along with the snow.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And,
Tumbleweed.
yeah.
Speaking of tumbleweed, gotta roll on out of here.
All right. Well,
This guy might be feeling pain.
Yeah.
Amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Want some tea?
Okay, so we're sitting here, we're taking a moment to process the last Estes session we just did. Only because of how insane of what this spirit was telling us.
Yeah.
Like, brutal way to die. And I
But I remember hearing about that in the news.
you did? Oh, you remember hearing about this in the
Yeah.
news? You care to talk about it?
Again, I don't know if it was more so news, more so jibber jabber or whatever.
Right.
It was about a year ago. But I remember there was a homeless guy that hung around a lot of Plattsburgh, and he got hit by a snowplow. He was walking late, drunk, and
Holy shit.
yeah, no, that's exactly what I connected to. Because it was like, again, like visually, I was like, wow.
Oh my god. So, yeah, and this poor guy was sitting, I wonder, that is such a traumatic experience. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even realize that he's dead. What if he still thinks he's alive
Yeah.
and he's just suffering from after the initial pain from the accident and he just doesn't know he's dead. This guy liked you a lot, though.
He did.
He liked you.
Most people do.
Yeah.
I like talking to random people, man.
You know.
Well, it's
Dead or alive, I guess.
It's because you're so approachable.
Yeah.
You know, you're such an approachable guy.
It's baffling. Like,
Yeah.
It was a lot. It felt
Yeah.
like it was a lot. It
Yeah.
felt heavy, you know.
yeah, I bet it was.
I am at the end of the editing of this documentary, and it was really good. I like how I'm putting it together. I will admit, probably not as elaborate as what I would like to do, but this is the end of the documentary. It's a little longer than what it needed to be, being a little over 40 minutes, but honestly, I'm okay with that. I think it was really well. I really enjoyed doing this. This was a really cool project. I'm definitely glad I got to do this. But yeah, this was really awesome, actually. And this is the end of the documentary. And I want to thank I'm gonna thank Grant Hochmuth and Will Quilla, Michael Hernandez, Jennie Davis, and for working with me and for joining me for this project. I appreciate the help, and I want to, this was a really awesome project. And the only thing left to do after putting this video clip after this is to final touches and submit to Professor Little. So thank you for watching this documentary. I hope you learned something about Suny Plattsburgh and Plattsburgh itself, and I also hope that you got a little curious about Plattsburgh. This next semester will be my last semester here, so hopefully this documentary will get students that are at the college next semester and onward interested in paranormal and decide to do more, because I think it's definitely something that should be covered. So as I said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk with you in my next documentary project or in the next one. Peace until all are one. Bye.